Okay, those who attend the classes regularly, my classes, I will give them good attendance. Even forward attendance also will get the good marks. Okay. Okay. Today we go through the performance. In the last class we will see the what that single bus structure. Single bus structure. Today we go for the few concepts are there. This is the compulsory. Okay, 6 questions. Okay, define the performance of a computer. You will be asking the some questions are there. Okay, definitely you will ask me. This is the 10 marks question. Okay, for that 10 marks question, you will be asking. Okay, what is the performance? Performance of a computer. Okay, the performance of a computer system is based on the hardware design and also instruction set. Okay, hardware design and instruction set. How are the some different types of hardware designs are there? Okay, based on hardware design and also some different types of designs are there. The performance of our computer is based on the depends on the hardware design of a computer and also instruction set related to that particular computer. Okay, as the performance of the computer is increased, if you want to increase the performance of the computer, then definitely the execution time should be decreases. Execution time should be decreases. Execution time should be decreases. Okay, as the performance of the computer we want to increase, then the execution time should be it should be less. It should have to decrease. Then only our performance of our computer is increases. Okay. One more, that is execution time is there. Okay. What is the execution time? The execution time is the total time taken by the processor. Total time taken by the processor to execute the program. Complete program. This is called the execution time. Total time taken by the computer to processor to execute the complete program is called the execution time. Total time taken by the this is what the execution time is nothing but total time taken by the processor computer for execution of the complete program is called the execution time. And also we have the one more time, that's the processing time. These are some definitions are there. Okay, this is the performance of a computer which depends on the execution time and also performance of a computer depends on the particular hardware design of the computer and the number of instructions. Okay, the number of instruction set of that particular computer. Okay, we don't know what is the instruction set. Okay, we have the different types of instruction set there, and also we have the different set of particular computer. If you do different computers, we have different sets of instructions are there. Okay, if you have the less number of instructions for the particular computer, then definitely our performance of the computer is very low. It's what it depends on the typing of the writing of the program, and also the writing of the program depends the number of instructions set for that particular computer. Okay, that's what our performance of the computer depends on mainly on the hardware design of the computer and also instruction set of the computer. Okay, then definitely our performance should increase. If you want to increase our performance, then the execution time should be very less. Okay, this is the main thing. Okay, execution time. What is the execution time? The total time taken by the processor. To execute the complete program is called the execution time. Okay. Then what is the processing time? Processing time is nothing but it's the time period. Okay, it's the time period for the processor. It has to take the process. Okay, if you want to do the any instruction has to fetch, that is to be processed first. Fetch instruction has to be fetched and also decoded and decoded, and the execution should have to take place. Okay, these three stages it has to go through the any single instruction. If you want to execute any instruction, it has to go through the three steps. One is called the fetch, another one is called the decode, third one is the execute. For this purpose, we have to give some time we will be taking. That time is called the processing time. That time is called the processing time. Processing time is also depends on the mainly to the for execution of the complete instruction. It has to go through water. It has to first it has to fetch and also process or executed. Then it has to be stored. And then it has to be displayed to the user. Means what it has to go through these many steps, and also this for this time it has to be it will be taking some period of time. This time called as the processing time. This time is called the processing time. Processing time is nothing but the processor will take the any instruction or program has to be executed to go through the fetch, decode, and the execution. For these three steps, it will be going to undergo the fetch, decoding, and the storing purpose, and also it is also of the execution of that particular instructions and also program that will the output will be displayed to the user. This will completely time is called the processing time. The processing time of the performer. Processing time. Okay, as we already studied we know what is the performance of the computer. Performance of the computer is depends on the hardware design and the instruction set. Okay, the performance of the computer is should, if you want to increase, then the execution time should be decreases. Okay, then what is the execution time? The total time taken by the processor. Okay, processor to execute the complete program is called the execution time. What is the processing time? The processing time is the time taken by the processor to complete the execute the particular instruction. It has to it will undergo some steps here, the fetch, decode, store, and also display to the user. This is the main. Okay, the performance of the computer is inversely proportional to the execution of the time. Okay, performance of our computer is always inversely proportional for the execution time. It's nothing but the performance. So we can say it's for the performance of the computer. Performance of our computer is inversely proportional to what? 1 by execution time. Execution time. This is called the performance of the computer. Performance of the computer depends on the very few factors are there. One is what the cache memory, another one is the processor clock. Processor clock is there. Okay, one is the cache memory, another is the processor clock, third one is the basic performance equation. Fourth one is the instructions and also compiler. Okay, how it will be depending on. Okay, not only our performance of the computer depends on the hardware design and the instructions, even it also depends on the some factors are there. Some factors are there. Which are those? First one is for the cache memory. Cache memory. Second one is the processor clock. Third one is the basic performance equation. Basic performance equations. Fourth one is the instructions compiler. Fifth one is the compiler. Okay, over the performance of the computer mainly depends even on the cache memory, processor clock, and also basic performance equations, and also instructions, number of instructions, and also compiler. Okay, the performance of the computer not only depends on the hardware design and instruction set, even it will depends on the some factors are there. Which are those? Cache memory and the processor clock is there, basic performance equation is there, instruction is there, compile is there. Just copy the whatever things are written on the board, just copy. I'll be explaining the remaining factors. Okay, cache memory. What type of cache memory we are using here? Okay, cache memory. What's the cache memory? Where it is located exactly, and also given the what is the processor clock is there. We will be discussing that one. Just copy the board. Okay, whatever is written on the board, just copy the. That much is enough. Okay, I'll be anyway you will be sending the some notes for you. Okay, these are the main points. Just copy this one. Right? You so fast. You are not written the what is that? Assignment. You are not submitted assignment. Okay. You are used to know the various and then for this purpose you have to write the assignments. How to write the first assignment? You don't have the assignment book. Provide not having the some assignment books are there. Just copy whatever written. Some students are written. Control in this copy. Just and also I'll be sending the 50 questions for the first group, second group, and the same 50 questions. You should have to write and do that. First, do the second group first. Don't write the first assignment now. You can write the first assignment later. You can write, but the thing is that you should have to write the second assignment. I will send you the question. Those 50 questions you should have to answer. You should have to write them. You will get the answer. Right. Okay, whatever we are discussing today, they will ask for the canvas. These are the questions, important questions for your examination. Fixed question, definitely they will ask for the examination. I hope you all follow this one. Okay, I hope you all got it. Okay, shall I erase this one? Okay, let us consider these factors. How the our performance will be get increased depends on our performance of the computer depends on these factors as cache memory. First one we consider the cache memory. What is the cache? It's the fast memory which is present in between the main memory to the processor. And even the moreover our cache memory is always present in the processor itself. We don't have the separate. We don't have the any. This is the abstract memory. It's not visible for anybody, but it is also available to only the processor, not the user. Okay. If you want to write something on the program and all, which will be stored where in the our main memory itself, not in the cache memory. The cache memory is only available to whom? Only the processor. And also this is the abstract memory. This is what the abstract memory. You should have to remember. Okay. Okay, the cache memory is always present here in the processor itself. Okay.
Sir, DDCO means like the random access.
Huh?
Random access memory.
It's a RAM. I want to start first because RAM is only for the to access the speed of our.
So it is a primary memory. Cache is a primary memory. So it is inside the CPU, only the processor, not in RAM.
Not in RAM, not in ROM, but it's present where in the processor itself. Processor itself, you should remember. Always cache memory is present where in the processor itself. Okay, you should refer. If I am wrong, I'm not be wrong. I will not be wrong because it's already. I will know because cache memory is always present where in the processor itself. It's not available to user. If it's available another any other memory devices, definitely it will be available to user. No, okay, that's what the processor cache memory is always available to whom? Only the processor itself. Okay. Inside memory is inside memory is okay, I don't think so because cache is the
Inside
memory.
RAM it is RAM is also a primary memory and cache is also similar to
Similar to, but it will increase. But compared to the RAM, cache is the fastest memory. Okay,
fastest and small
fastest memory.
memory.
Small memory. The RAM and cache memory are similar. They are both looks works same. But thing is that cache memory is already available. Very easy to compare to the RAM. It's very fewer time it will take to what the fetch used by the processor itself. Okay. If you want the processor has to use the very memory is to be used by the processor, then the definitely the easy available memory is for the cache memory for the processor. Okay. RAM is also used to increase our speed, but the cache is giving the fast speed. Okay. This is what the fastest memory. This is what the fastest memory is available. It is the phase between the processor and the main memory. Okay. It is the octet memory. Okay, it is available only to the it is only available to whom? Only processor. Okay, that's what writing the one. Okay, one figure is there, just copy this one. This is what we call the bus. Is it data bus or system bus? Or data bus? Okay, we will use this data bus as a system bus also. But it is connected together, it is connected to other units of our computer. That's we call the main memory. Main memory. And also we have one more block is here. Processor itself is what the processor. In this processor itself we have the what the cache also. In this processor itself we have what the cache memory. The cache memory, okay, cache memory. These two connected with the help of the what the buses. This is what we call the data buses. Okay, this one we call the bus. Okay, you can observe here. Okay, the main memory. Okay, if you want the processor, if you want to access the any data which will be repeatedly used by the processor, those data or characters or what are the things which will be stored there in the cache memory. Cache memory is the one of the repeatedly usable data to be stored here. Okay, repeatedly usable data to be stored in your mobile or Google. whatever you written, okay, something you will be using, the search something over there in the Google, what is the Google search engine, that the search engine will store only what the cache which will be used by the your written for the search purpose. That is very soon after, very soon it comes to available to the user if you want to go into search one more time. Those type of data should be stored in the cache memory, repeatedly used by the usable by the processor. Those to be data should be stored in the cache memory. Cache memory. Okay, cache memory. If you want to access the main memory, that will take the more time compared to the cache memory. That will take the more time to the compared to the cache memory. If you want to access the any data which is available in the main memory, that will take the more time compared to the cache memory. Compared to the cache memory. Cache memory will okay. The processor will take the less time to fetch any data or communicate with the cache memory. Very less time to compare to the main memory. It commit time to the in ಜಾಸ್ತಿ time. Just to write the those two sentences also. Something like that. Processor will take the less time to read the cache. Yet what the processor will take the less time because it is already available in the processor itself. Cache memory. Processor will take the less time to read the cache memory. But processor will take the more time to read the any data from the main memory. Okay, because it is externally available. Because but the cache memory is built in memory that is available only within the processor itself. Okay, and what I said, this okay, this will increase our the performance of the computer. If the cache memory is not available, if you have the good cache memory, if you have the good cache memory, then definitely the processor will take the less time to execute or perform the any task here. That's what the our performance of the computer even depends on what the cache memory also. If you have the good cache memory, definitely our system, our computer will work very faster. Then definitely our performance of the computer will be increases. That's what our performance of the computer is also depends on the cache memory. I hope you are copy this one. Yes. So, okay, that's the copy. Okay, shall I consider the next processor clock? Shall I run this one? I hope you will complete this one. Okay, processor clock. Processor clock is nothing but it's the one of them. You see, processor circuit will take the control by processor circuit will be process circuits are controlled by two modes one of the unit that we call it what the timing signal units. Timing unit. Okay, then these are what the timing signals. Processor circuits are controlled by one mode the controlled by okay. Okay, even the performance of the computer processor depends on the length of the clock cycle. If the length of the clock cycle, this is the period of time. If it is less, okay, it's more, our performance of the computer will be more less. Okay. If the time period it will take the for the complete not to do the these three operations. If it is taking the less time period of time or interval of time is very small, then definitely our computer performance will be increasing. That's what the clock says. Processor clock depends on any on the other order. High performance it will be depends on the clock circuit signals. That's also we can say the clock rate is depends on the clock rate. Clock rate will be depends on the what that number of clock signals. Number of clock signals. That's what the number of clock signals. Okay. Clock rate is depends on the what is that? Sorry, number of clock signals. Here the clock rate R would be what the clock rate it depends on the what the inversely proportional to what the clock number of clock signals here. Number of clock signals here. If it's a very low, if it's our clock signals are very less, okay, then that definitely clock rate is will be not good. If the number of improvements times, okay, very high means what the our clock rate will be very low. It means here that depend inversely proportional. If you want to get the good rate, clock rate, then definitely you have to cover the number of clock signals should be very low, very low, very low. If it's more, then definitely our clock rate will be not be good. Okay, that's what the our processor clock is inversely proportional to number of clock signals. Number of clock signals. Just to copy that. Even our clock signal, that's the it is measured in the what the cycles. Sorry, cycles per second. It means what the in the hertz. Unit. What's that? Unit of clock. Unit. Clock per second is for the hertz. Unit of this clock rate is what the clock per second. Clock per second. It's nothing but in the hertz. Okay. Moreover, our computer, many of the our personal